Attention, captains! Let us introduce one of the most unusual destroyers in World of Warships. USS Hull, a Forrest Sherman-class destroyer, was named in honor of Isaac Hull, a U.S. Navy Commodore and national hero. Commissioned into the U.S. Navy in 1958, the ship served in the Pacific Ocean and completed several missions during the Cuban Missile Crisis and Vietnam War. This alone made the destroyer special, but another fact became no less significant in her biography. Some background. Since World War II, one of the important forms of naval warfare has been amphibious operations, which require, in addition to the actions of the landing force itself, powerful artillery support from warships. However, following the decommissioning of the last classic cruisers and battleships in the early 1970s, 127mm, 5-inch, 54 caliber guns became the largest available naval artillery. But here was the difficulty. The shells from such guns could not destroy fortified bunkers. So it was necessary to urgently develop something more powerful. It was then that the Major Caliber Lightweight Gun program was launched to create a powerful weapon that could fit even on ships of the destroyer size and support amphibious operations. The prototype was a variant of another gun, mounted in the turrets of Des Moines-class cruisers. The prototype was heavier than the 127mm, 5-inch, 54 caliber gun, but it had a significantly greater firing range and fired much more powerful projectiles. A specially modified computer calculated data for the fire control system, and even laser-guided projectiles could be used to provide a very high accuracy. It was this type of gun that was mounted aboard USS Hull in a forward position during her major overhaul in 1974 and 1975 to test the perspectives of the new armament. From 1975 through 1978, USS Hull conducted a series of test fire trials against coastal and sea targets, and they were considered successful. But the program was canceled for financial reasons. The late 1970s saw numerous cuts in the U.S. defense budget. The prototype of the weapon was removed from USS Hull in 1980, after which the destroyer served for another 3 years. She was then decommissioned, and as a twist of fate, was sunk during the testing of another new weapon. But this time, the ship was the target for the new Harpoon missile. On the high seas of World of Warships, Hull appears in this formidable configuration, with the largest artillery any destroyer has ever had for a main battery. 3 rapid-firing 203mm guns. While the ship outputs only mediocre damage per minute due to the smaller number of guns, Hull is equipped with penetrative HE shells that are great at starting fires. Her AP shells have improved ricochet angles and deal high damage, and they pose a significant threat to enemy ships with exposed broadsides. Hull also has access to torpedoes, albeit in a rigid setup of 2 non-rotating launchers per side. But the ship's base speed is quite low, which together with her mediocre concealment, rather large size, and lack of smoke generator, pushes Hull more toward being a gunboat that thrives in landing salvos from a safe distance. That said, she can also use her improved engine boost, specialized repair teams, and American defensive AA fire to increase her overall survivability. Do you want to operate the helm of a destroyer with the most powerful guns on the seas of World of Warships? Then Hull awaits your command in the game.